this is a little more wild up here. And they have to have the equipment necessary to meet the need to respond to any threats. So we share a border, a 445-mile border with Canada. And as we've seen, there's a lot of ground to cover. That makes us vulnerable to drug cartels, human smugglers, as well as gun smugglers. So in speaking to our leadership team here to identify areas where we're making a real difference, but where the challenges remain, I wanted to come here literally, physically, and thank them, but also, like, what else do you need? You know, what are the perpetrators of crimes doing? How are they possibly trying to get ahead of us, and how can we respond accordingly? So we have to protect the border, secure our neighboring fields and pastures and small towns and our cities, and make sure that they have the best crime-fighting tools that money can buy. That's why in my most recently adopted budget for 2026, I allocated an additional $8 million to bring to the northern border. First time investing this level of money, coupled with $3 million we did last year. It's $11 million that we have available for the state police. What are they doing with this money? You saw the technology, critically important. Make sure they have top-of-the-line technology, but also making sure that we have the manpower, the woman power to embed and with existing law enforcement. The Joint Terrorism Task Force, we're able to add more personnel there. 6 new investigators, people that are experts in finding out how we can link the dots together to solve crimes. So I was just asking them some of the cases that we've seen. They're quite interesting. We had one case in St. Lawrence County. We used license plate readers to link a vehicle to a major drug trafficker, and they confiscated 55 pounds of cocaine that otherwise they would have gotten away with. And that's the main point here. In March, state police investigators used drone technology with infrared lights to track down a dangerous fugitive who actually fired on law enforcement officials in Vermont. That's how dangerous this person was. As also, we've been busting Venezuelan nationals. They had this crime ring, and they were going and robbing ATMs all over the state. We also caught a would-be mass shooter as he crossed the border from Canada. So these are just a few examples of the thousands of cases that this incredible elite unit is involved with every single year. And I also believe my job as the governor is to support them with record levels of funding. You know, since I've been governor for 4 years, we've invested almost $3 billion in local law enforcement. This is for our county sheriffs, our police departments, our chiefs of police, and help them do what law enforcement does best. Also critically important to me is coordination. When I first became governor, I wanted to make sure that we are sharing information with neighboring states to break up the iron pipeline of where guns were coming from and drugs were coming from. And this is a model for the rest of the nation. So these are examples of how you keep people safe. I'll also, as an aside, say you don't keep people safe by gutting essential programs that fund law enforcement with federal dollars. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we've seen out of the administration in Washington. And we've lost literally billions of dollars nationwide that should be going to our law enforcement efforts, because my number one priority is keeping people safe, and that should be the priority of our other partners in government. And also, you think about the deployment of resources at the federal level. There are plenty of real criminals coming across the border or who are already here. As I mentioned, human traffickers, gun runners, drug dealers. But the efforts to allocate so many resources to the raids on our businesses, like you saw in Cato just last Thursday, a company that manufactures nutrition bars, over 70 people that were taken from the workplace, including moms, 6 moms with kids under the age of 1. One was breastfeeding her child. This family separation does not make us safer. What we're doing here makes us safer. And we're calling on the federal government to understand that the people are counting on us to do what's right. And that means making sure that the money keeps flowing, that the resources are allocated in a way that stops the dangerous, the worst of the worst, the violent criminals, which is what we were all told to be the case. But that is not what's happening here today. So as I said, I'm here today to hear directly from our troopers. I'll continue backing them wholeheartedly, whatever they need. That's my priority. And also to thank them from the bottom of my heart for what they do to keep everyone safe. Before I turn it over, I'll turn it over to State Police Superintendent James, and we'll take a couple of questions in a few minutes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Governor. I want to thank you for being here, certainly with us today. You have not hesitated in providing us with the necessary resources for us to carry out our mission, and certainly to continue this endeavor. We're grateful every day for your support. There's strategic investments being made for the security, as referenced here today, at the northern border. Make no mistake that they provide our members with critical resources in the way of personnel. We're still in the process of fulfilling staffing in that regard, technology, and also equipment. And this has a direct impact, a positive impact, on our ability to prevent and detect crime. The challenges that we face along the northern border, they are unique, no doubt they're unique. From drugs to firearms trafficking and to human smuggling. Criminal networks, they see the border regions as an opportunity. The crimes that they commit, they do not stop at the border. The trafficking of illegal narcotics and guns, they reach into the neighborhoods across our entire state. So with these new resources that you see here today, we are now better equipped to track cross-border criminal activity and share intelligence with our federal, state, and our local partners, and to disrupt the criminal networks before they can endanger other communities. All of our members are fully committed to keeping New Yorkers safe, and this funding will help ensure that we're meeting the challenges that we're facing here today head on. Thank you.
Thank you.